Hey there, everyone. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Look at the whale sharks. Look at that. Two of them. Isn't that cool? I love aquariums. Hope you're having a good Thursday. I'm having a pretty decent one. I'm going to be going to the beach soon. So this is going to be a short stream, probably just about 2 hours. I thought we could start off with a little bit of aquarium. Thought it'd be cool. We're going to be doing Yu-Gi-Oh shit today, because I couldn't think of anything else to do. I've got like a Lyrilisk deck for Genesis I want to try out, and I've got a couple of videos we can react to. You know the deal. How are y'all doing today? Hope it's a good one. Hope it's a good one. I like fish. Fish are so cool. It is in fact early July. It's hot as fuck. Our air conditioning is it's not working, but it's not working correctly. Actually right now it's fine. It's weird. It works during the day, but at night it becomes less working, which is very strange. You'd think it'd be the other way around, right? But no, it's perfectly capable of keeping a really hot time at the right temperature. But at night, it's like it just gives up and is like, you'll be in the mid 70s or lower 70s, and you'll like it instead of in the upper 60s like we want it to be. It's very strange. I don't know why it's like that. Okay, I was thinking it was some sort of refrigerant issue, but the fact that it's perfectly fine during the day is very strange. Look at the manta just playing in the bubbles like that. That's awesome. Do a loop-de-loops. Having a great time. Look at that. Going for another one. Oh, there's the whale shark. I love these giant tanks like this. Really gives the fish a lot of room to move around in. Yeah, I don't actually have like enough for a full stream, so I figured we'd just watch the aquarium for a little bit. Hey, there's the whale shark. I actually got to see a whale shark in person at the Osaka aquarium. That was really cool. This one has two though. This is a Churaumi. I don't know where Churaumi is. Yeah, they're pretty chill. And like with a tank this size, it's like one of the few places you can actually fit one of these guys and have them have enough space to move around. Osaka Aquarium's tank is so big, it takes up almost the entire building, and it's a huge building. Like the entire building is built around the aquarium, so you're just doing a lap around the aquarium over and over again as you move from the top to the bottom. It's really interesting. Cool design. All the smaller tanks are built around that like little walkway that's built around the tank. So, like all the other tanks are essentially a wall around the walkway that creates a path. And some of them also take up multiple floors, which is a cool way to do it too. There's that whale shark. Okay, let's play a little bit of Genesis. Oh, I should show you the deck first. I built Lyrilisk. I'm not exactly sure what to do with this deck. The problem is it doesn't do anything. What it does do pretty well is OTK, but it's like there are better decks for OTKing, like Blitzclick, but Blitzclick you can't play on the ladder yet. I should take my hat off. So I really like Lyrilisk, but I don't know, maybe I should take Zeus. Zeus is a good fucking card though. But like part of me wants to take Zeus out and replace it with Utopic Future Draco. 25 points. Can't fit it in right now. And I guess we could if we removed some of these cards, but all these cards that are pointed are really fucking good. I mean, we could remove the... That wouldn't be enough, would it? 77? No, not quite. We would just be a little over, yeah. Which, like, we could remove one card for that, theoretically. That actually might be the play. And it's probably Effect Veiler. Even though Effect Veiler is really cool, we can search it with Where Art Thou? Ah, damn. No, I think this actually might be the right play. Just to give us more stuff going first. We can run Gamma Seal. You have the points for it. Sure, why the fuck not? I am logged in, thank you. God damn it. Dueling Nexus really hates you being logged in. It really wants you to log out immediately. So yeah, this will give us a little bit more play going first, and also it's a pretty good card going second too. But mostly the idea is, especially if we don't have the ability to do the OTK. Oh yeah, I mean it was part of the female card list for a while. Let's do a Genesis duel. If we can find someone. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da 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 da. Yay! Game found. Cool. It's already got it. Now we don't have an opponent actually yet. This is the cool thing about Dueling Nexus is that you wait a long time to get a duel set up, and then also there's no one there. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 ba. The thing is though, this is still the most reliable way to get Genesis games in an auto sim. If you want the most reliable way to get games, it's gonna be Dueling Book, but I fucking hate playing on Dueling Book. Literal last resort. And like Omega, no, Omega is so bad at getting Genesis games. It's actually worse than Dueling Nexus somehow. Ba 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 ba. Why do I still have the sprout on my thing? It'll make a noise when we get someone in there, right? We can just watch the aquarium while we wait. Look at that fish moving fast. Anyone? No? Ooh, funky little guy. What are we, 720p? Can we get this higher? Can we get this higher? So high. Let's try just going again. Look at the yellow tails on them, guys. It's such a bright yellow, you can actually see it through all the blue light. Oh, we got a game. Damn. That's okay, we're going second anyways. Well, this is a hand. Maybe the draw will... Huh? What? Huh? Huh? Oh, that does fix everything, yeah. Okay, so here's the funny tech we have. Similar repulsion. Discard a winged beast to return all cards in the spell trap zones to the hand. Yeah, read that fucking card. Read that fucking card. Put all that shit back. Put all that shit back. Okay, yeah, they're gonna start using their shit. Oh, there's the Starry Night Starry Dragon. Does this do anything? No. Okay. Thanks for summoning a monster, though. Actually, that might be kind of bad. I mean, only so bad, though. Because the Turquoise Warbler, we don't get to do that effect now. But, like, we didn't have much going on there anyways. So the problem is this hand doesn't do anything. Fuck. Yu-Gi-Oh! This sucks. This deck's terrible. I mean, we got a bad hand, but like, you know, a good deck wouldn't have hands this bad, right? Awesome. Minus 100, yeah. You say that, but you're winning. Yeah, against Starry Night, and also they're about to set 4 fucking cards again. 5 cards! Go grab a kaiju real quick. In case they summon their Starry Night Dragon again. Let's get Come Among Us. Okay. We can summon guys. None of the guys we want to summon, but we can summon guys. So that's helpful. Great. We can still summon guys. Do you have another? They do. Wow. Hold up. No, we can't do anything with that. But we do just have a lot of attack points. We're getting there. Bit by bit, board by board. Oh, fuck. Okay, we win the game. We win the game. Yeah. We win the game. What a fuck-ass game the Genesis that was. What a terrible game. Miserable. Is this deck just like that bad, or does it just have bad hands? I mean, again, a deck that was better wouldn't have bad hands like that, but like, is it that bad? I don't think it's that bad. Well, yeah, all the duels are going to be faster than finding them. It's fucking Genesis. You can't find games online. That's just how it works. Let's go back to the aquarium. Oh, we got a real one. We got a live one. Okay, let's try this again. This time it'll just be good. We want it to go second, actually. Oh, fuck. We have the card that makes the deck function. Unfortunately, we don't have the other cards that make the deck function. Although we do have Swallow's Cowrie that can help. What? Oh. Easy way to get to low. Oh god, they have a shiny low. Okay. That's not a good draw. That's not a good draw. Well, we definitely go IKS first. I want Thunder King. They can have Gamma Seal. Sure. Okay. What does this fucker do? Return summon a light ritual monster from hand or deck. Okay. Not much we can do about that. I mean, we could go battle and just try and get over it, but I don't want to do that, is the thing. Let's go... Jester Confeat. We could do something funny with Swallow's Cowrie, or we could just go for it. Yeah. Nope. Nope. What is that? What is that doing? Just adding something? Yeah, okay. Alright, now we go... Okay, well that's annoying. It's not enough, no! No! Okay, now we can go downward. I don't even know if I needed to do that. Zeus. And now that we have that, we can draw a card. Interesting. Do we Zeus now or do we wait on the Zeus? I think we Zeus now. Yeah. And we still have another Zeus as well. Damn, dude. Oh. Okay, Saray this. So they can make the Saravis in hand. Unless they have something else in hand. Oh, they had the Skull Guardian in hand. Skull Guardian doesn't have a negate until low hits the field, right? Okay. That outs the Zeus, and then they get to do whatever the fuck they want from here. Okay, Saphira. They're on Saphira? Okay, sure. A big problem with the Lyralist deck is it doesn't have any grind game, like, at all. So, from this position, we're kind of just fucked. We had to just win in that one OTK position, and the Skull Guardian preventing us from attacking directly fucked us there. It's like that was the one card that would prevent us from OTKing in that position, and the whole deck is based around getting it out. So, we didn't really have much of an option there. Okay. I don't like that. Great. We do win here, though. We do win here. I think. Hold up. This card's face up on the field. God, there's so much text on these cards. Do I need to worry about any of these cards? I feel like I don't. We'll just get rid of that one. We did it! We did it. That's stupid. Life hack is such a stupid card. You're better off playing this in Mimighoul. I think it's a fun deck in Mimighoul. This deck is not particularly good. That was funny though. Okay. I want to do something else. I do have my GMX deck. I'd like to test the Genesis GMX deck a little bit too. Hold up. I need to go into test. And it'll automatically put it to the top of my Dueling Nexus decks for dueling. Oh, we got something in the battle pass. Oh boy. Oh, cool. That's actually not a bad. I'll take that. Let's do another duel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Thursday. I'm not thirsty? Well, too bad. Ba, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. Let's watch the aquarium again. Whale shark. How much for a Drunkian stream? Not possible. I don't drink. I don't like it. Damn it. It makes me feel anxious. Who said drunk off alcohol? What do you want me to be drunk off of, Kai? Please elaborate. Okay. Who's gonna deliver that, Kai? Oh, wrong one. There it is. Nope, still in. Sure, you could find someone. I mean, maybe. It's possible. Jellies! Really? Nothing. Good old moon jellies. Look at them. Maybe try a refresh. Taking my blowhide to the aquarium so he develops performance anxiety. Jelly, 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 jelly. Jellyfish is so cool. I wish it didn't have bones. Bones. Bones or something. Look at him. Just ethereal beauty right there. Really? I love Perulia. Someone should make a lava lamp out of this. Jess has a bunch of jellies in a little tank behind her in her streams. And I'm like, I want that so bad. Fucking hell. Look at him. This one's huge. Massive jelly. Yeah, these ones are called moon jellies, I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering correctly. Aha! Oh. Well. I guess we'll see if someone shows up. So am I set to the right deck? I am. Cool. Oh, fuck. We can't do the GMX deck yet because Korai isn't officially available in Genesis yet. God damn it. You can't test any fucking Korai right now. It's so annoying. Do I have the Jurak GMX deck? I don't think I do. On here. I had it somewhere, but I don't have it on here, I don't think. No. Okay. Let's just do something else then. I don't really want to play the Lyralist deck anymore. Don't forget to subscribe to Batchu's Library, by the way. Also, on the main channel, this video, Fan-Made Cards and Why They Matter, have almost gotten the same amount of views, or more views, than the number of subscribers I have, which is actually a rare occurrence on the channel for some reason. So that's pretty cool. But what I wanted to watch today was two videos. We've got this another one of the fucking Wonky Quartet Genesis podcasts, and this video about floodgates. I thought they might be fun to watch. Do you have any preference from chat? Any chat? Anyone awake in there? Or are you too blissed out by the jellyfish? Can we watch the good content? Which one's that? Which one's the good content? Because I mean, this one I'm probably going to agree with them on everything at this point. Really, it's most of it. This one, from what I understand, is going to make us a little upset. Tell you what, we'll watch this one because this one's going to get us to the ad break, and then we can watch this one after the ad break.
So here's a question for you guys. Why did Nichiria Rosewhip get banned, but Last Warrior from Another Planet is A-okay at 3? What makes this one bannable, and yet this one is allowed to be freed from its decade-long prison? And when you look at these cards side by side, one of these is clearly more egregious than the other one, but this change was made on the same ban list, so what gives? So to find out, I did what any morally questionable card player would do, and I decided to give Floodgates a go. And by embracing this evil, maybe I can discover something that I didn't really see before. And to be honest,
Average video essay framing.
I think my original stance on Floodgates was unfair and even wrong, so let's talk about how that was even possible. And so we have a baseline. Let's start with what my original stance on floodgates actually was. And originally I felt they were just bad for the game. The whole point
I hate that there's just so just stop putting memes on the
of a
screen,
floodgate
please.
is to reduce the amount of interactions
Stop!
in the game to 0, or at least as close to 0 as you can get. And in my head, a healthy game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one where both players have plenty of interaction on both players' turns. So naturally, Floodgate stands directly in opposition of this philosophy.
God,
But
stop.
recently, Joshua Schmidt made a discussion video that's honestly not related at all to this topic, but it did make me question my view of what healthy Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually is. Because to him, a healthy game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't actually have anything to do with the amount of interactions that both players have on either turn. He looks at it more like it's a puzzle game, where the going first player is the person who
You gotta read the comments, make sure there's actual informative commentary. The video essay is actually an essay, it isn't just a recap. What would it be recapping? What would it be recapping, Kai?
who's creating a puzzle, and the going second player is the person who has to solve the puzzle. And honestly, this is a comparison that I haven't heard before in this game, but
You
it
haven't?
really resonated with me. Normally people compare Yu-Gi-Oh! To fast-paced fighting games, which is fine, I do agree with that. But honestly, the puzzle game philosophy feels more in line with how the game actually plays in my experience. Calling Yu-Gi-Oh! A puzzle game is low-key a base take. And honestly, I do agree with Josh's perspective. Some of the best games that I've personally played so far
We're gonna make it through.
are the kind of games where it's engine versus engine, and really anyone could come out on top. And this philosophy shift from a game
If
about
I
everyone
ever start putting this many memes into my videos, you gotta shoot me. You gotta put me down. You gotta put me down.
having interactions to this is a puzzle game started to shift my feelings about certain aspects of Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. So with this fresh perspective, I wanted to revisit one of the most highly debated card types in this game, floodgates, and look at them through the lens of not how many interactions it promotes, but instead as a puzzle piece that needs to
Would you believe Farfa liked this one? Yeah, I would believe that. It has the stupid memes he likes.
be solved by the opponent. And the first step is actually building the deck that was the boogeyman for the first week of the ban list announcement. Kashtira Primite, with Metamorphosis in there. And at a glance, honestly, this deck does seem kind of cool. It seems like a mid-rangey kind of deck with a lot of ways to
Does it? Does it seem kind of cool?
recur itself. And if you draw the Metamorphosis, you can turn it into one of two floodgates. It's not just Last Warrior from Another Planet Turbo. There's also this neat little interaction.
Seems like
where if
complete
you
turbo ass.
overload
I think that's
and
the
then
point
use
of the video,
Metamorphosis into Last Warrior
is that
from Another
these
Planet,
floodgates are
his
actually
effect to blow up your own
bad.
board won't activate, so you get to keep your board and keep the floodgate. But after playing this deck for multiple days, I kind of came to the conclusion that floodgates are just bad. And I don't mean bad for the game, I just mean like legitimately not great Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Which to me is weird because when you see floodgates discussed online, they're talked about like this skill-less auto-win button. But that really ended up not being the case for me overall. Like if I actually got the Last Warrior from Another Planet, half the time the opponent was just hitting it with an imperm or a droplet, turning it into basically a meatball. Or if Kashira
Yugi hair.
Risehard didn't
No, that's not Yugi hair. That's Playmaker hair.
get outed, people would still be able to play around it and produce a threat. It wasn't just locking people out of the game. Pretty much every time I ended on just floodgates, the opponent would still be able to produce a threat that my public interruption just couldn't solve. And don't get me wrong, are there
They
games
put a
where you
little
just
bit more
build
effort
your
into
end
it.
board and the opponent scoops? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not actually the norm when playing this deck. And when looking at this game through the lens of a puzzle game, the weaknesses of floodgates just becomes a lot more pronounced. Imagine a deck like Cool Tune as a puzzle. Because it's such a layered end board, it's a very complicated puzzle to solve, and not everyone is going to figure out how to do it. But stun decks rely on floodgates as basically their only puzzle piece that they're presenting to the opponent. And if you can find a line to shove down that deep fissure-shaped hole, then stun decks really don't have any kind of follow-up to it. It's like being handed a one-piece puzzle to solve. If you can solve it, they have no other tricks up their sleeve. And I
Chat. I want to give you a test. Can you think of the flaw in this argument? There's a big flaw that I'm thinking of, and I want you to solve it. Solve my puzzle. Solve my puzzle, chat. The argument is that floodgates are bad because you can... Floodgates aren't bad for the game because they're bad, because they're just one thing you're doing instead of a variety of things to make a complex puzzle for your opponent to solve. That's the argument. Can anyone think of a problem here? The problem is good decks can play floodgates too. We started this video with Rose Whip, right? That's a floodgate. What are we arguing here? Yes, some floodgates are worse than others. What is the point of this?
You can basically hear the furious typing of keyboards right now of people saying, bro literally just said draw the out, which is kind of true to a degree, but it's a little more...
That was the thing with Mystic Mind though, right? Like, why aren't you prepared for this yet, etc., 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 right?
complicated than that. Even if you have to go down a suboptimal line or just freestyle some combos, generally decks do have a high density of ways to play around a variety of different floodgates. It's usually not enough to end the game right there, but a lot of decks can put themselves in a winning position against floodgates. It's not as uncommon as you would think. And with a lot of these stun decks, they just don't have any follow-up. If you break through with even the tiniest of simple boards, then you're probably going to beat the stun player. And this is all if you even get there. The deck is just inconsistent and bricky. You're basically playing a gamba for the coin flip, and then rolling the dice again to see if you got a hand that's more playable than just Fenrir in a dream. Then, if you finally get good RNG on those first two rolls, you still have to make a third roll to see if your floodgates are actually going to be useful against your opponent. Like if I set up in a Rise Heart and my opponent is playing Exo Sister or God forbid the Kashtira Mirror, then a Rise Heart is basically demoted to a bad Mirror Jade. But
Kashtira Rise Heart is actually super bad. Going first in the mirror is
maybe
crazy.
It's just my deck choice, right? Because after all, Kashtira Primite has a lot of points where generic interruption can stop it. And that's not really in line with the strengths of traditional stun decks. A part of what makes a traditional stun deck so alluring is the fact that all of these hand traps are basically bricks when you just do Inspector Border set.
Shaker, you're also off on the mirror.
So let's try this again, but using as little activations as
Kashtira
possible
hates going
to not
first in
give
the
our
mirror.
opponent
It's so
any
funny.
opportunity to deal
It
with
really,
us.
really, really
And
wants to go
I'm not
second.
gonna sugarcoat it. It's honestly still just bad because the same issues still pop up. You're only presenting one or two pieces.
Yeah, okay, I know stun decks are not good decks. They're not fun decks either, though. Like that,
Of a puzzle for
who
your
gives a
opponent
shit
to
if they're
solve.
good or
And
not?
if they do solve it, then the deck has no plan B, so you're just cooked. And like I said, there's very few games I've played with the deck where a floodgate just outright prevented an opponent from playing. Did they have to go down an awkward line? Yeah, sure. But when I see them starting to play into it and finding that awkward line that works, I basically just have to sit there with my fingers crossed and hope a Solemn or an Iron Thunder is going to be enough to stop them. And spoilers, like half the time, it's usually not enough to stop them. And honestly, I think that does say a lot about floodgates. The fact that they need to be backed by Solemn Brigade because the opponent can still produce a threat under them shows that these floodgates are just not as auto-win as people portray them as. And genuinely, I think people blow floodgates a little bit out of proportion. So then here's the next question. If floodgates are just okay, then why did Rose Whip need to get banned? And this, to nobody's surprise, comes down to the fact that it's searchable in a non-dedicated stun deck. And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I actually don't think Rose Whip was ever legitimately good in Cool Tune. It was just kind of a crutch, but I feel like ending on the Rose Whip just made your end board overall weaker in return for being able to beat Sky Striker and Radiant Typhoon. And I'd rather just have a more versatile end board. I don't know, sue me. But having that option to search a floodgate off the end of a combo is usually what gets these floodgates banned. Like, stun decks aren't getting stun cards banned. Actually, I don't think a stun deck ever got any stun card banned.
I, all these memes are just kind of washing over me at this point. It's literally just like, Like the water on that pier, it is just going right. Also, I don't think this is true. Remember when that runic stun deck was like really popular for a while? Didn't that get some shit banned? Didn't that runic stun build get shit banned for a little bit?
It's always been other decks getting floodgates banned. Which begs another question. If this floodgate that hasn't been relevant for basically a decade suddenly becomes bannable because of Cool Tune, is it Cool Tune Q's fault or is it Rosewhip's fault? And when you really stop to think about it, it's actually...
It's because Rosewhip isn't fun. It's because Rosewhip isn't fun. It's...
Q's fault, right? That same interaction that got Rosewhip onto the field is now just being used to search an Ash Blossom. We removed the floodgate, but that same interaction is still adding another puzzle piece that the opponent needs to solve by the end of the end board. And again, personal opinion, it's probably just because of the decks I play, but I would much rather play against the Naturia Rosewhip than an extra Ash Blossom that they just added to their hand.
You don't play Sky Striker then. You just don't play Sky Striker then. Like...
But understandably, Konami can't just hit their new decks on the ban list, so Rosewhip goes away. But here's the thing, with Rosewhip being gone, the puzzle didn't get easier to solve. It just changed a little bit. And unless you were a Radiant Typhoon player or a Sky Striker player, the Rosewhip wasn't actually doing anything that made Cool Tune easier or harder to beat.
But what if you are a Radiant Typhoon player or a Sky Striker player?
Like when you see people losing their minds every single day about floodgates online, it's pretty easy to get sucked into that mindset that floodgates are bad, skillless auto-win buttons. And while they might be skillless, they're definitely not
Jesus Christ, dude.
Floodgates are just an entirely feast or famine strategy that relies on you going first.
Ah! Oh, this is exactly what I have the issue with, right? I hate feast or famine strategies. They shouldn't be in the game.
And then hoping that the floodgates are enough.
They don't feel good for anyone
from attempting to break the board outright. But if your opponent basically sticks anything with more than 2,000 attack into play, the stun deck player is basically going to lose the beatdown. And from what I've seen, even with multiple floodgates online, the opponent can usually still find a way to threaten your board. They're not out of the game because you flipped up 2 floodgates and shoved the middle finger in their face. And for what it's worth, I think floodgates are fine Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're not completely hot garbage. But they aren't this boogeyman that's just gonna steal a game like everyone was letting me believe either. Floodgates just simply change.
Is Rush Duel still going on in Japan? I think so. The anime's over, but I think the card game's still going on. They're certainly releasing new things. I don't know if they're winding down or not, but they're definitely releasing new things. I've seen a lot of stuff coming up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Hell, let's just like hit Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 new card artworks for Headliner of Reigning. Yeah, there's this new baseball set or something. Where was those? This is actually way more interesting than the video we were watching. There's this guy. This guy looks cool as fuck. Where is he? Yeah, look at that. He's a scoreboard. There's also, it's like a whole Utopia themed baseball deck, which is strange because there's no Ixies in the game. I don't know why Utopia and shit are in the game when there's no Ixies in the game, but they're doing it anyways. Where was that? Yeah, it was like a while ago that they had the Gaga girl. Oh, of course there's the Soul jerseys, but the Soul jerseys were a while ago. Ashura Bat. Soul Weapon Ashura Bat? What the fuck are you talking about? Fuck. Rush Duels is so fucking cool. I want it. Oh, here we go. We could use this to get there faster. Yes. Yeah, Gaga Cheer Girl. Look at her. She's so cute. Fuck. I want Rush Duels. This is not what we were watching. Here we go.
The puzzle that needs to be solved, but it doesn't make the puzzle unsolvable. And like, here's the thing too. If the stun player draws the nut, then yeah, you're probably not breaking that board. But if any deck draws the nut, you're probably not breaking their board. It just feels worse when stun is the one drawing the nut. Now, there's one
Yeah.
very obvious elephant in this room that I need to bring up because I just haven't addressed it yet. And that's my personal bias on this because I play a best of one format. In best of one, there's a risk with running floodgates where you're going to run into a matchup where the floodgates aren't going to work.
Master Duel LARPer.
But in best of three with a side deck, that's just not going to happen. These floodgates become silver bullets in the side deck where you just bring them in for game 2 and 3 to completely shut out a certain...
And also in Master Duel, when it's a competitive format, like every time they go to Worlds, they still do a best of 3. So when you're talking about like a competitive format
deck,
you have to worry about them.
Floodgates is a lot more toxic, and I agree that it opens up the debate a lot more because there's a lot of things you have to consider when these floodgates are being used as silver bullets in the side deck. And as much as I would love to discuss this, honestly, it just kind of comes down to not my format, not my problem. And look, I'm sorry, I know people don't want to hear that, but realistically, like, I'm just not playing paper that often. I'm mostly playing Master Duel because that's what's convenient for me. And Konami recognizes that they're two separate formats as well with the separate ban lists. So I'm going to look at these cards from the perspective of a best of one format.
What? They're only separate formats because of the separate ban list. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Instead of best of one and best of 3. And I'm sure when I start playing paper, I'm going to eat those words. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. But let's be real. For every card game
Also, please stop holding your mic. Just get a lav mic if you're going to hold...
I've ever played, the side deck is just a bunch of silver bullets. So, like, this is nothing really new anyway.
I don't
For the
normally
players
do this.
Who's watching this video, I'm about to throw you a bone here because you guys have been getting ragged on this
Damn it,
whole
it missed.
video. And you've been honestly getting ragged on for, like, a decade and a half at this point. Because since most floodgates
Move over to
can
the side a little
actually
bit
be
so I can
played
blow you
around,
up.
Stun decks take a little more brain cells than you would actually think. You have no layered interaction, no follow-up, and honestly very little to do outside of those floodgates.
Here, if we exit
so
theater
identifying
mode,
where you need to point your
it'll
limited
move him
points
over
of
slightly and I can
interruption
blow him up.
actually does take a fair bit of
Yeah!
not just of your deck, but of the game as a whole, because you really need to know where to stop these decks on these very niche backwards lines. And like I said, the deck has no follow-up either. You're basically relying on a top deck.
But this point, the memes are here to prevent Marfa from clicking off the video. That's a good strategy. Wait, I should do that actually. I should put a bunch of memes in my video and then send it to Farfa.
A lot more important. And there's quite a bit of skill in managing your card economy in a deck that doesn't produce additional value. And that's
I don't have a good way to send it to Farfa though.
You guys get. I stand with you guys. I don't think you guys deserve to get deleted from existence. But I'm not standing with you in solidarity. I'm like way over here. I don't think you guys deserve all of this hate, but at the same time, I don't really vibe with your ideas either. But what I can tell you, Stun players, is that the next time I queue against one of you, you can bet your ass that I'm going to be playing into your board. I now know how fragile your deck really is. And if you guys got to this point in the video, why not consider liking and subscribing?
That's so many channel members. Somebody pointing out this is just because good decks make floodgates too. Not really fun to play against them. Yeah. Okay, sure. All right, we're going to take a quick little ad break and then we'll watch this video, which will hopefully be a lot better. All right, see you in a sec, everyone.
See the top double thrill, double chill motion picture program of the year.
Curse of the Werewolf, in color. The harrowing story of the legendary half-man, half-wolf.
His evil beast blood demanded he kill, kill, kill.
Plus, The Shadow of the Cat, a shocking adventure into murder and psychotic fear.
2 terrifying hits together. Don't miss them.
Welcome back, folks. Let's watch this aquarium again. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Fucking fish. Okay, let's watch this Genesis video.
And welcome back to another episode of
Do you like the vampire
Will
archetype?
of the
I wish I
Genesis.
did. It's just so fucking dog shit. I can't do anything with it.
And we are back talking about
I even tried making a rivalry format deck for it, and it didn't fucking work. It's so bad it can't really make a decent rivalry format deck. It's crazy.
the new point update, which came a little bit early. Thank you, MBT, for your tweet. You know,
What was
really
that music,
appreciate
Doug?
it. They were going to release this a little bit
Sounds like
later,
Blue
I
Archive
think a
music.
week from now, at least when we're recording.
Rivalry format is my own custom Rivalry of Warlords format. If you don't know Rivalry of Warlords format, it's a thing they do at YCS's as a side event, where they have pre-constructed decks that they give you and you play with them. Their decks are terrible though. They're like really fucking like annoyingly bad. I've tried to make mine fun. So here's the first one. The first episode of Rivalry format is right here. You can watch it. I played with Golden Nova, Oracle, and Sleepy Doll, Lily. And the idea is the idea was to make decks that didn't have a ton of floodgate towers or negates. Very limited on all those. And we played. So here's like a weird Tearlaments deck. It's got all the Tearlaments cards you would expect, but it doesn't have a lot of the end board pieces you would expect. So it's very consistent, but doesn't have a whole lot of end board. We have the rank 3 pile, which it has a lot of cool stuff going on. Where was the other decks? This fucking deck is way too strong. It's crazy. And then this ninja deck, which is pretty cool. So your friends suck at Yu-Gi-Oh? What? Where'd you get that impression? All right.
Recording, but they released it on Monday, so that was cool. And these are the point
I
updates.
hate to be like I'm a fucking change maker, but I think they really did do it because of that tweet.
I think, you know, dare I say, because we all know Genesis format is better. I think the Genesis format guys, whoever is, working
No, the Rivalry of Warlords decks are very bad. My decks are very lower powered, but they should be fun. Is the idea? So the idea is to make them fun.
On it, I think they really do care about what the community is saying, and they heard our pleas. And the reason that these cards needed to get hit was because there's a lot of good cards in these 2 sets. Super important for Nats testing.
It's been a whirlwind 5 days. Like, these 5 extra days are gonna be difference makers. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. And to button down the exact dates, I think the exact stated day that they were going to release the points update was today. We're recording on June 25th. They
said release weekend.
Stated.
So it could be today, tomorrow, or Saturday. And I'm like, but most realistically today or tomorrow. And it's just like, dude, that is not enough time. I got to get my ass down to TCG player.
Yeah, and a points update. I thought on one of the blog posts they said the 25th. I don't know. This is...
And it is really good they did, because, like, we had no clue how... Do I have, like, Chaos Ritual in here? Yeah. We had no clue how Chaos Ritual is going to be pointed. All the cards are gone now. Great. Awesome. Thank you. And there's also... Okay. Light and Darkness Ritual. Great. They don't all come up from that. That's awesome. 2 of them come up. But like we had no clue how these were going to be pointed, and they are super pointed. They are super pointed, as they should be. Would you say Rush's? I don't know what Rush's current power level is. I have no clue. I'm not playing. I'm not playing it because it's not here.
This is semantics, but either way, it was going to be too late. Like, this is every single moment right now.
Every day matters. Every day matters.
And the plus side is, there are a bunch of competitive players who are now like, I've got some time. I'll try out Genesis. You see Jesse Cotton, Ryan, I'm going to make them do it. I'm going to say, you guys play Sky Striker in Genesis.
Well, let's see through these changes and kind of talk about it. I think you guys have tested with the new cards a little bit more than I have. I've been a little bit busy, so...
Do you think Doug plays a lot of One Piece? I see One Piece there in the background. Do you think he plays a lot of One Piece?
Hopefully you guys have some insight on these. I have read through these cards. I have looked. I mean, I did early reveals for both these sets, so I did my research. But
oh shit, he pulled Farah?
Well,
damn.
Some of us don't work with Konami, okay? We just yell at them until they do what we want.
It is what it is, and it was it. But okay, let's through some of these.
To be fair, MBT has had the sleep-deprived dad hair longer than he's been a dad.
Changes, not too many on Glorious Gallery here, but a lot from Chaos Origins. So Battles Legend Glorious Gallery has a couple. We have some Teller Knights taking hits because we don't want FTKs in our...
Dude, the Teller Knight deck is actually crazy strong.
Genesis format. So we have Constellar Castor going to 6. Teller Knight, okay, how do you pronounce this?
Signian.
Sai Jinen.
That's it's Signian, but
I think
like a signet.
To 6 points. Teller Knight can Stellar Deltaros to 10 points. That's the
gauge hit.
Yeah. We have Lev Shadol Fusion to 10. Pretty fun card. I don't know about these Shadol hits. Maybe they would have been too good. Void.
So the problem with Lev Shadol is that it's like the other Shadol shit. What they really should do is hit Window extremely hard, so that they can not hit the Shadow Fusion shit as hard. Like, if we put the Genesis filter on. Like, Window shouldn't be a 60. Why is Window a 60? If Window was like a 100, I feel like you could make Lev Shadol Fusion a 1. But whatever.
Unleashing a 10 as well. So I don't know what the Shadol hits in Genesis are other than
I can talk
Window.
a lot about Shadol.
Yeah, I do. I would love to speak on Shadol.
Okay. And then the last 3 here, Master Hero Fountain to 6, Junkmeister to 6, and Overtuning to 10.
Can we do, let me do the last 3 real quick.
Yeah. Talk about whatever you want.
Fuck you, Fountain's fine. I think the Fountain to 6 is just an apology hit. They're like, listen, we know we didn't hit Neos enough. We're going to hit everything we can. This deck will play 1 Masked Hero Fountain.
I think Masked Hero Fountain's a fine card to be at 6 points. It's fine.
Like, it's not going to be any sort of meaningful.
It's a powerful card.
But I
that
think
could be
they're
used
trying to do is make it
independently.
so it's hard to play a playset and Darklaw because like the line gets to Darklaw, but like I don't care. Junkmeister to 6.
Yeah, but some people do care, and I think it's good that they can't do that.
Overtuning to 10 strike me as like in KT. you can play these cards. And they're like, okay. And I think they say in the blog post, they're like, these cards slot into a bunch of the synchro decks the same way the KT cards did.
Yeah.
So we just don't want to have to like play whack-a-mole with them. So
Yep.
we'll hit these. Let's talk about the ones that matter. Peeps, do you want to talk about the tellers? Because I think that's probably the most significant of them.
Let's talk about Shadal first, and let's talk about Teller last.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right.
I got to get one of
So-
those things he's working with right there.
Because it's the most important. We'll,
Yeah, no, you're.
That feels like that seems like it'd be a really good fidget toy.
Good point. Anyway, big reason Shadal these hits are significant is that it's a lot
Get
of
that
points,
grip
and
strength
these
up.
are they're like really strong new engine cards, and a lot of people were talking about how Shadal was dead with these new points. That's just not true.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at
You either
all.
you pick 3 Lev Shadal and 1 Void Unleashing, or 3 Void Unleashing and 1 Lev Shadal. I personally would pick 3 Void Unleashing and 1 Lev Shadal. Lev Shadal is kind of in my opinion, it's the worst of the 2 engine pieces.
Well, and Void Unleashing gets to it as
Yes,
you know, it can get to
exactly.
anything really.
Yep, exactly. And Lev
And
Shadal,
Jordan,
like,
what's the significance of retaining 60 points in your Shadal deck?
that is true. That's the other point, is that Winda is 60 points, right? So heavily pointing these engine pieces boxes you out of Winda if you want to play like App Cologne, which I think is, I don't know
10
how
or
much.
something.
We just saw it
and
was
then,
10.
Like, Schism is also 10.
I thought Window was like
Whoa,
100.
was Schism also 10? I didn't see Schism in there. Does Schism also 10? Because we way down here where it cuts off. Yeah, okay. I understand now. Let me get a all. Thank you. There it is. 10. Whenever talking about build deck details in any game, I'm thinking about something one with zero knowledge of said game, wondering what the fuck is being discussed. I'm sure there's people in chat that are like that. Some people just like to watch me
No,
react
Winda-
to things
Winda is
without
60,
understanding what I'm reacting to.
Which,
We'll see
yeah,
if
that
that
is
stays.
true. But basically, if you want to play a consistent but still powerful Shadal deck, you're not going to play Winda. You're going to play App Cologne.
No,
Schism,
absolutely not. Yeah.
Some number
Which is good. That's exactly what the points were made to do.
of these Lev Shadal Void Unleashing cards, and then you're just going to kick Winda out of the deck. And honestly,
Which is great.
But also, Winda should just be at 100 points, and you could probably reduce the points and everything a little bit.
You don't need Winda. Like, the deck does not need Winda.
Yeah.
No,
Even
not
with
at
these
all.
Heavy point and
Winda's not actually that good of a card. Like I played a lot of Winda in branded builds, and Winda's not that good of a card. We just watched a video about how floodgates aren't that good actually, but it legitimately isn't that good of a
heavy
card.
points on these engine cards.
It's just
It's
annoying,
a
which means it
pretty
shouldn't be in the
good
format.
engine. Like the new fusions you're making are awesome. The new level 10 is super good. The new
Yeah,
level
play all the
6
new shit.
Winda
It's really
fusion is
cool.
a dope ass card. Like, you flip up, like it's like a Book of Moon, and you flip up your own Shadals, and they get their effects. It's like a cool cards. Really cool. I think these points are fine. Don't let this point update stop you from playing Shadal if you truly wanted to play Shadal for Nats or at any Genesis event you go to. You're fine. Don't let this discourage you. The deck is still really cool. You can play like Mathematician or Armageddon Knight as a normal summon, and
We're going back to 2014.
Getting tired of this guy.
Let's go.
Well,
Yesterday's gameplay, today's cards. Run it.
True, that's true. Finally,
Wait, that's today's gameplay, yesterday's cards.
Oh, sorry.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
but yeah.
shouts out to whoever wrote this, throwing in the today's gameplay in here. Like someone, I can't remember if it's this or like one of their promotional materials, shouts out the old slogan, and I'm like, fuck off, dude. You can't be doing this.
Oh,
gonna make
it's
that
fun.
slogan
They're
stick one way
ribbing
or
a
another.
little.
They
you
are
know.
having fun with it. Do you mind if I start on Teller Knights?
Go for it.
This is the deck I'm the most scared of. Going into the WCQ, this deck is super frightening. We have 2 weeks of results with unpointed Teller Knight, and
Crazy.
I mean, they can't really be more conclusive than they were. This is a contender. It's a contender for a bunch of reasons. The first is that it can play all manner of FTKs. There is, of course, the Tolmaeus FTK, but one fucking individual who blunders around occasionally has been playing it with Mjolnir and unpointed cards. But the deck doesn't even have to do that. It's one of those decks that if it builds a board,
We're gonna get every artifact card removed from Genesis
or
format.
it already wins the game. The upside it has over other similar decks that do things like that, like Onamot and the like, is that it can play Shifter. It's so unpointed that it gets to play really powerful non-engine. It can play like Nibiru.
I'm sorry. You're saying Shifter doesn't affect this deck?
Correct.
It does, but
Yes.
it affects
Oh, I mean,
it less than
yes.
it would other decks. And,
And when everything was at 0 points, of course, you're just going to play the insta win. But
Yeah.
right. Still, I think they will do that. These hits are significant. They are not so significant that I think that this deck is unplayable. I think it is in contention for, if not obviously, the best deck in the room.
Yeah, I would agree.
And you know what? Kind of a cool deck to have as one of the top decks in the room. As long as we've reined it in a little bit so it's not so dominant with some of the bullshit that it does. Like, kind of cool.
If you want my opinion.
That's why
if I had to
you're here.
Let me phrase that differently.
Yeah,
if you, like, gun to my head, forced me to label a deck best deck in the room, it's Constellar, bar none. I don't
Teller Knights.
think, like, obviously the Talmias FTK isn't gonna happen, because I think Talmias is actually like 100 points or
Hundo.
something.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like a million.
Yeah, so that's not gonna happen. But this deck can do a ton of different stuff.
Yeah.
It can do the Mjolnir lock, which they didn't point Mjolnir. Whatever.
I'll be
That's not
honest,
what we're
I
here
think
for.
that's uncompetitive, but I understand.
Yeah, no, it's completely uncompetitive. But it shouldn't exist.
I disagree, but whatever. Neither here nor there.
I'm biased because it's Stevie.
Fair enough. The deck is crazy. The engine is very strong. That's what I want to get at. And it's not like it can be played pure. You can play it with Shifter. It plays well into Shifter.
Yeah.
But I don't think Shifter is going to be the most popular way to play it. I think the way that it's going to be played the most is with the hero cards.
Yeah.
That is the scariest build. Because it is an unbelievably strong engine pile if you play it with the hero engine.
Like the Miracle Ejector and that
Miracle
stuff.
That is
Ejector,
fucking
Fountain,
scary,
yep,
yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah.
It is actually
So good
pretty-
thing
pretty
Fountain was pointed then, huh?
unbelievable How effective, like, Stratos, Ejector, Fountain, Dusk Crow is as, like, 4-slop. It's like probably like, and maybe
That's what I was saying when I was like, the pointing of Fountain makes a lot of sense because it's not just like a hero card. It is just like a generic thing you can play in anything to get a hero
that's the argument
engine.
for Fountain at 6, but Fountain, you still only play one Fountain, so I don't know.
Well, the problem with that though, he's right, is that Fountain is not necessarily the one to hit there. But the problem with that is the way that they do these lists, which is I've been talking about this every time they do one of these, like the what do they even want to call them? Like the secondary. Where the fuck is the blog? Let me just type in blog. That'll get us there. Every time they do this points update specific to a new release, they like restrict themselves to only being allowed to hit cards that are new releases. When sometimes a new release breaks a card that already existed, and they should hit a card that already existed instead, right? But they don't allow themselves to do that, which is frustrating. So that's exactly what I've been saying with that.
And it's going to also play like Surfacing Big Jaws and
But if you are restricted in that way, hitting Fountain is the correct thing to do.
Shark. And,
yeah, they all play well with each other. I will say the last thing I want to say about Constellar is it is at present, at least, there's not a ton of places where people are actually metagaming this format out, but my experience on the couple of ladders that I frequent is that it has
Where are they? Can you get me some? Because I'm having trouble finding games.
totally transformed what main decks look like. I know after the last points update, we were like, oh, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is going to be everywhere. These board wipes like Dark Hole are so underpointed. I would be so scared registering those cards. Like, I'm playing like Meisters and Crows in the main just to have something to prevent the FTK that these decks can go into. So I think you're going to see a lot more hand traps as a result of the existence of these cards. And you're going to see a lot of hand traps in these decks because they have such few points.
Yeah, you're not getting away.
That's crazy that the FTK is still that consistent after the points.
You're not getting away with main deck illusion gates anymore.
Yeah.
Not with this in the room.
Yeah.
Your deck has to have 24 points for Fua. Sorry.
Jesus Christ,
like
by the way.
that's
big fucking week for Fua. Huge week for Fua.
yeah.
It went to 8 points. Yeah.
And I'm
yeah,
still
it did
playing
go to
that
8 points.
shit.
You have to. You have this.
That sucks, man. I don't want that to be the fucking format.
We're in hand trap time now. You have to be on hand traps at this event. I know we're kind of jumping ahead to talking about like what we think the format is going to look like now, but the reason I'm doing it is because Constellar is the reason for it. It is going to be what shifts the metagame.
So what's like the okay? I guess I'm a little confused here. Not that we have to get too much in the metagame, but you're saying cards like Skullmeister and DD Crow are good against this deck that you also have said plays Shifter.
I don't know necessarily why Skullmeister and DD Crow. I mean,
depends on the build.
Conversation because it hits the Mjolnir.
The DD Crow is from Mjolnir, to be honest.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But
I'm just asking, Okay, well, let's move on because we have, some more stuff to talk about here. Chaos Origins, they started off by showing the Light and Darkness ritual points.
Yep.
Now, this is a deck that, they even say right here, is going to be good in advanced format. Like, I think that's pretty clear. It's very good in the OCG. There's a lot of efficient cards.
Not as good as the Toon deck, but still pretty good.
So I think it's going to be popular. So we have Black Chaos, which is...
So yeah, they've perfectly made these points, so it's like... you get to play 1 Mind Shuffle, 1 Black Chaos, 3 Grifo, 2 Light and Darkness Ritual, and that's it. No Celtic Mystic for you.
It's the main deck Secret Rare Democ retrain.
I actually do wonder, like, in decks that don't use the extra deck and don't really use up a normal summon, would Celtic Mystic be a good, like, Graceful Charity? But for 20 points, it's definitely not.
Well, I guess the ritual is
just play Graceful
the
Charity.
Monster going to 20
it's more points, obviously.
This is a staple 3 of in all of the existing builds, just like Grifo, which is going to 10 points. So a lot of points to those. You will not be able to. Okay, so Celtic Mystic is at 20. Light and Darkness Ritual is at 5. Mind Shuffle, the trap card, 40 points.
It's such a good card.
If you're looking at this deck in the regular format, you're looking at 3 copies of Black Chaos, 3 copies of Grifo, anywhere between 1 to 3 copies of Celtic Mystic. I've seen all sorts of things. 2 copies of Light and Darkness Ritual, and then 2 copies of Mind Shuffle a lot of the time. So we are talking about a version of the deck that looks significantly different, but I think it'll still be playable.
It's still playable. It is still with the points as they stand right now. That build that I described to you just now is not bad.
Yeah, I'll just cap to the fact that I am way more familiar with the TCG version of this deck. I had I had put together a hypothetical Genesis brew that I was like, oh, this could happen if like we get 10s across the board. This point distribution totally killed my interest in the deck. It just seems like so expensive. But I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be like totally fucked on this. Like,
it would have to be a non-pure. I think that's like the big shift, is that it's no longer going to be Light and Darkness Ritual deck. You're going to have to play something else.
As much as I want to be like, you can't have 100 points in Engine and win in this format. We just talked about the FTKs. My brain does go back to first wave, like a Vanquish Soul, when they were just 99 Engine. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. These cards are really cool and really crazy. And I think they are trying to prevent it from being a KT situation where it's the same deck at top tables. So
yeah, and good on them. Good on them for doing that.
Yeah,
I hope that they did.
I don't know. I'm just not seeing it here. Like, if we just think about it like this.
Yeah.
If you play 1 copy of the 5 cards on this point list, you have 95 points.
That's okay.
Well, you don't need to play the Celtic Guardian, though. The Celtic Mystic is extra. It is not necessary.
Okay, well, when you put it like that, do you just
that's 3 fucking DD Crows and 2 Dark Holes, baby.
Do you just cut Celtic Mystic? Is that really?
Yeah, absolutely, you do.
Really worth the 20 points?
No, not at all.
Graceful Charity, but sometimes in Genesis people cut
that's
for 20. You could basically just play Graceful Charity.
Again, I'm willing to, just like Joseph said, I'm willing to be wrong. I'm always surprised in this format. People come up with crazy shit all the time.
Yeah.
This one I'm not seeing. I compare it. Think about it like this. I compare this point distribution to what Constellar is doing. What Constellar Hero 4 slot is doing.
Constellar probably should have more points than it has currently.
Like, why would anybody pick this over Constellar? You know what I mean? It's just
Aura.
There's just no shot.
Aura. I think this is a really good example of
like old Yugi cards. Yeah. Talk about yesterday's gameplay, today's cards,
No, this is kind of and they even say right here, like I mentioned earlier, like they're very clearly trying to avoid a situation where you hop off the TCG feature matches to go watch the Mimigul mirrors, and then suddenly it's just the same Genesis format, but still Light and Darkness Ritual. People don't want to see that, so I feel like they're trying to avoid that situation. is Teller Knights, are they somewhat viable in the TCG? I thought I saw
Yeah.
that they topped something.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Huh.
okay. So those
I
are
didn't
still
see that.
viable. Teller Knights kind of in a scary spot.
Yeah. But it is cool that they deliberately stated that, right? Like, you know, I don't think that has been a stated philosophy of theirs yet, that like they don't want the same decks that are winning things in advance to be like the top.
They'd like
of the
mentioned it a
Genesis
little
format.
bit here and there, but
Yeah.
But now they're like
They have a little bit.
deliberately doing a new dex point distribution with
Yeah.
that stated philosophy in mind, and I think that's cool.
Mhm.
I'm happy that they're
Yeah, it's exactly what I wanted when Cool Tune was getting stuff,
Like,
and
laying that out, which I think a lot of people agree with.
well, let's move on to the Invoked
So,
and
I'm pretty
Phantom
happy.
Knight hits. So I'm probably more familiar with the Phantom Knight cards than the Invoke stuff. I remember seeing like the big, lithium combos with the Invoke stuff when it first got released, but that always looks, necessary. I mean, it's
That's
going to look
lithium,
pretty
baby.
strong in a
That's
combo.
lithium.
Yeah. So we have Alistair the Reminiscent to 4, Iowas Divine Spirit of the Law to 2, Vera Cam to 2. So just some like slight hits to these cards. When you see, I mean, we've
And
said
then-
this before in these videos, but when you see these lower
And
point
then
hits, just
the
realize
big
it's more
15.
so that you can't play a lot of non-engine that's like pointed. Like it's kind of that balance. You can still play these
Yeah,
cards,
which
just
is
not
I
with
think how a
million
lot of the
generic
hits
People
should
make
be.
fun of the
Um,
low point hits, but they do add up. I mean, like
Yeah.
I have
They do.
had
Mhm.
to. It's been really difficult trying to build decks with GamCL in mind recently.
We have a Hyper Invoked Aeon,
Invoked
15
Aeon, yeah.
points. This is the Macrocosmos. I would maybe argue that this
It's
should
like
be worth more,
90
but it
points.
is what it is.
Yeah.
That's not the Macrocosmos, is it?
It
Am I crazy?
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
We have Decayed Cloak at 4, Doomed Soul Roulette at 5. I don't know what that word is. At 5, it's probably
That's not
some
even
weapon.
showing up.
We have
Whatever.
Malevolent Scythe at 12.
What was
and
that?
the rank
Pardon?
up, it's probably some
Can you say that
weapon.
one again,
We have
Doug?
Malevolent Scythe
Yeah.
at 12 and the rank up at 1 because they said it's a rank up. I think these cards.
I do like that they specifically pointed out. Yeah, it's a rank up. We put it to 1. Of course we did. It's a rank up. We put it to 1. We put rank ups to
maybe
1.
would have seen play by someone. Where do you guys feel they are
Oh,
right now
and-
with these points?
Well,
Well,
okay,
first
can
of
we
all, I
do-
gotta correct you again.
It's
Hyper
not
Invoke
the
Aeon is
macro.
not the Macrocosmos.
What do you mean? It's the big guy, isn't he? The Macrocosmos?
No,
No, what it
Hyper
does
Invoke
is,
Aeon is the
It's
extra
the extra
rip.
deck rip.
The reason why this deck is rough is the Macrocosmos doesn't work in Genesis.
Yeah.
The Macrocosmos is the big ship, right? And that only works if it is sitting in the EMZ.
Okay. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot right here. See, I'm. That's why the experts are here.
Can we do
That's okay.
Can we do the PKs first?
You can talk
Yeah.
You can talk about whatever you want.
So the PKs are crazy good. I think they're super cool.
Doug just wants MVT and Peeps to tell him what's going on in Genesis format so he knows what to do in his locals. I think I figured out what this series is about. The series is about getting MVT and Peeps to tell him what to do in Genesis.
In Genesis. I think there is secretly a rank 3 spam deck that is like a top 2 strategy.
I mean, we've seen Goblin Bikers messed around with a little bit, right?
Yeah, like
So-
whatever it is, it's gonna play Big Gabonga. Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
a
Big
deck that-
Gabonga is such a
Big
Big Gabonga is such a good card. It's literally just a generic 3 that gets you a goblin. Like
Gabongas are always going to be there. That's
Yeah,
one
like-
thing about them.
it's like Recital Starling for ones, right?
It's evolved like a million times over the course of Genesis, from like Radiant Typhoon Big Gabonga to like the Pumpkin Big Gabonga. There is going to be a deck with Big Gabonga in it that a skilled pilot can take to a top finish, I think. And the Phantom Knights cards are perfect for that strategy. So I understand why they put points on them. I will tell you that strategy is so unpointed that these cards could still find a home in there. I'm excited to see if someone tinkers with it.
It's
I will
possible.
be in the minority here. I think that Alistair and his associated invoked cards are really, really good in this format.
Jordan, thoughts?
I don't think I'm with you on these ones, man. I'm just not a believer of these two archetypes.
Well, okay, so
I think I'm closer with you on the idea of the 3 slop deck.
Yeah.
Right? Because 3 slop is a deck that has always been under the radar for years at this point.
I love 3 axis. Quit calling it 3 slop though. It's 3 axis.
And in Genesis, I will hand it to you that the goblin, but like the Big Gabonga something, just has the potential to be there. I just
All
don't
right,
know if these Phantom cards.
I'll
Phantom
be
Knight
I'll
cards
be
push
more
it
I'll
over
be
the
more
edge, dude.
specific because I think what's going on is you're not seeing the vision, baby. Alistair is arguably one of the greatest cards ever printed for Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail.
Okay,
crazy
sure. Which Fairy Tail already seen play?
Fairy
So,
Tail not
yes.
only is already seeing play, it is already winning events.
Yep.
I don't know how plugged in you guys are to the remote regional scene, but it is won
not at
like
all.
almost all of the mats that they're
Yeah.
giving out at these remote regionals.
Huh.
This deck is really good, and the thing that the deck is missing more than anything else is a guy who can be special summoned from the hand. Like they just need an extender to play through, like contest your normal summon, and Alistair is a card that contests your normal summon, or that beats the contest the normal
Is
summon.
Peep starting to see
He
the
is a
vision?
starter on his
It looks
own.
like he's starting to
He's
see
your
the
only
vision.
Normal. Through like a chorizo line, he can get.
Someone who started playing Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! 11 months ago never seen Fairy Tail actually be played before, and that's why I'm afraid to see it. Well, that's because Fairy Tail got a bunch of new fucking cards. Yeah. So Fairy Tail got a bunch of new fucking cards that create a much stronger deck than what Fairy Tail was looking at before. Some of them are Tail LE and some of them are Tail IL. It's really weird. Gonna be added to Master Duel in 7 days. 7 days.
Get to a Wiccat.
And that deck
if you
is
get stopped,
pretty strong in
he,
Genesis.
Can continue your plays. That puts him in a really, really small class of cards with like match Gearsu that are that good. And playing the invoked stuff also opens up a lot of extra lines for a deck that will do a turn one end board that doesn't necessarily win the game, right? That like isn't totally resistant to like board wipes because they don't have snow usually, or they won't if they're playing Alistair.
Right.
for
This is
instance.
not
Yeah.
the TCG. Like, yeah.
I think that these cards, again, still have to tinker with them. It's very possible they're just not better than like the Necroz stuff or something. But I think they are really, really promising in that list.
Okay. I can, when you put it in the context of Fairy Tail.
To be clear, I don't think anyone's going to be like normal summoning Alistair and going Mechaba Pass. Like that.
But you could.
That's not the game, obviously.
Yeah. Definitely
But like
not.
they will
Yeah.
be going Fairy Tail combo with Rosamundi backup, which is like pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it adds
'Cause
a
these
layer
cards
that beats a Fairy Tail problem, which is you can just get Darkhold, and it's an extender that beats contest your normal. Like I think it's crazy.
Okay. I'm willing to read these cards again now that you talked about it like that. Because I was just
I've
not a
seen
believer
some
in these
people
cards.
messing with like an actual invoked deck. I'm not saying it's like good, but I
Mm-hmm.
have seen some people mess with it. I've seen some lists. To the Sacred Beasts. So these are
It's
just
it doesn't seem. It seems bad. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem that bad. You could play that rogue.
real tiny hits. We have Summoner of the Sacred Beast going to 5, Martyr 2, Sacred Beast Thunderclap 2.
These ones
and
are
Abyss
funny.
of the Sacred Beast. I can't quite remember every Sacred Beast name. I believe this is just the 3 cards that are the monsters, spell, and trap that place 2 more copies of themselves
Yeah.
on the board. I'm pretty sure. And then 1/3, the Martyr. I don't know what that one does, but I think it's those.
They're just
types of
trying to
cards.
reduce
And
card
I think the Sacred
advantage.
Beast cards are neat, and they
Or make-
probably
make
won't
card
see
advantage
play in the
slightly
TCG,
pointed.
So Genesis format kind of seems like the area where these cards might pop up. It seems I would say from these amount of points, like it kind of seems like they don't believe this will be a top strategy necessarily, but
Yeah.
maybe they do think
They're
people
right.
will play it, or hope people will play it to some degree.
I just don't think these cards are very competitive. I was just reading the fusion, and it's not even a phantasmal, so it doesn't work with the fusion spell.
Yeah.
Okay, for those who don't know, they fucking misprinted this shit. They misprinted the stupid Sacred Beast card. Let's see. Where's the fucking fusion? So chaotic phantasmal sacred beasts. They printed it as the chaotic sacred beast. They forgot to print the phantasmal part, which doesn't really matter that much, but it
Very
is.
funny, very
No,
funny.
total Scarlon cultural victory
America,
for this.
I think
Like,
the MA print was printed correctly.
Yeah. The number one way to make a deck playable in Genesis is for Scarlon to post something like, "This is not playable in Genesis." So,
Come on, man.
I think these cards will be tinkered with. I think it's going to be a fun, good strategy in Genesis. I expect to see it at the event. I'm not super concerned about it.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the
a deck
type
that
of
some
deck.
people will play.
This is the type of deck where you won't read these cards. You'll go
Nope.
to an event.
Mhm.
Somebody will have figured something out
Something very
with
stupid.
these cards, and you're like,
You're gonna throw
it's
up
it's
on the spot.
This is the I didn't read the rogue deck and lost
The rogue
to it.
buff, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
this is the rogue buff deck, 100%. I also don't think
It's what the
cards are
format
very
was made
competitive.
for. The format was made for these dog shit anime support archetypes.
But my ass is going to be reading them.
But all our losses
because-
are going to be to this strategy, just so you all know.
Yeah.
Like, all of our
Yeah,
losses.
Yeah, this is foreshadowing right
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
The other, or actually, I believe, which has been kind of weird when I've been doing these reveal videos and I'm doing the research for them. I believe the only brand new archetype in this set is the Blitzkrieg archetype.
Wait, I got
I
it.
think-
Shit's dick. Is that anything?
Okay, so we do
Thank
have
you for
Surge and
stopping
Crackle
the
going to
flow of the
4,
video.
Hideout, which is a field spell, going to 5. So it's not like a super expensive engine, but when you
No,
add
it's
up-
not. I like I said, like I said a while back at this point, last Thursday, in fact, I have a Genesis, where is it? Build for Blitzkrieg. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? There it is. And it is not very much points at all. You do want to run 3 Crack. You do want to run 3 Surge. You do want to run 3 Column because it makes the deck tick. But then you can just run 3 Extrav and 3 Purge. Like, you don't give a shit about your extra deck. You're not summoning from there, buddy. So just make a shit that you can send to the grave and do shit with. It's a really interesting going second deck. Now, I would not play this going first at all. At least in Genesis. I don't know if another format might. Okay, I think I've been logged out because Dueling Nexus is a good. No, I haven't. But like, if you just get a random hand like this, for instance, this hand does do stuff. Okay, but like a lot of hands in this deck just don't do anything until your opponent has cards on the field. So I really, really would suggest making this a going second deck. In which case, you're probably going to want to run IKS and some Kaijus, which you can run the Thunders. Now, you might not want to run, like, as they were saying earlier, you might want to run more hand traps than what I am currently running. Because I was not aware that the FTK was still, like, so viable. But, so you might want to run some stuff that can maybe interrupt that. You could replace some of the stuff, even the Extrav. You don't really necessarily need the Extrav. You could replace that with, like, Fualos, right? And then you get, like, more points for the side deck. So I think it's a viable deck as a going second strategy.
Up all those points for like 3 copies, that is actually like a fair amount of points.
I got a video coming out on this probably before this video goes up. This deck is fine. It's for yesterday's gameplay. It's kind of unfortunate that I think the way it's going to be played most frequently is like, you know, the points that aren't allocated to the engine are going to be allocated to Thunder King Ryo. And it's
The
like,
Thunder King
okay.
is
I think the Thunder King Ryo build is actively worse than the going second build.
20.
Yeah.
20, okay. Because that used to be played in Sisters as well for a search off Hime, but yeah, obviously not anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I am excited about this deck. Another one of those decks that kind of justifies Genesis's existence because I do not see a situation where it's going to be like super crazy in the TCG. And it is yesterday's gameplay. It is basically just gadgets with a new coat of paint.
It is like not a very strong deck. It is awkward in ways that only decks from like 4 or 5 years ago are. It's interesting. It's really interesting in that way.
Gadgets that pop cards.
Yeah,
Like,
that actually does something. But yeah, I mean, if Dooms tells us anything, it's that the way for a deck like that to be competitive is to slap a fucking Droll and Lockbird on it, and that's what they do.
I mean, yeah, it's genuinely 2 ways you can play it. You can invest more points into non-engine and not play the Thunder King, play like a worse Thunder target, and just have better.
The calc. You could run the calc and do a lot of
The one
damage.
they play, it's the fucking. Oh my god, I can't remember the name. I'm googling it right now.
There's a couple. And their mileage varies. There's like Zap Mustang. There's Thunderclap Monk.
That's the one. Thunderclap Monk.
Thunderclap
Well, okay,
Monk,
let me skip.
Lightning Rod Lord is another one.
Jesus Christ, I'm not playing Lightning Rod Lord.
I
Yeah,
want to skip
I know.
forward just a little bit because this is in a different section. I read that Thunder Crash Snarecrow card and I was like, okay, so this isn't like good. It has 10 points. Is that card like real?
I have
No.
no clue what
I don't
is
think
going
so.
on with this card.
I don't
have no
think
clue.
so.
I read this card and I'm like, what is happening here? This card reads awful.
What do you think they've cooked up in the Konami offices that we don't realize?
I think like Jerome is playing with a different Thunder Crash Snarecrow. Like he's playing with like the
yeah, pre-release version.
yeah,
you know,
like right
the
before
beta
release, they
one.
were like, we have to take off this effect, and they did, and they were like, right, Thunderclash, that's a card that Jerome kept beating us with. That goes to 10.
I truly don't get it. You know, I'm probably missing something. Oh my god, I'm certainly not perfect at card evaluation.
Are you sure?
So
Damn, that's crazy coming out of you. That's
yeah,
wow.
I know, right? This one, I don't get the Snarecrow. I'm not catching it
Okay.
at all. I don't understand why it has points in the slightest.
I think it's just because it's an annoying card. I literally think it's only because it's an annoying card you could theoretically play in the Blitz Click. Was it Thunder Crash? So what this card does is each time a 9 Thunder monster is special summoned face up, while this card's in the monster zone, that monster cannot attack this turn, also destroyed during the end phase. That's an annoying effect. It's not a good effect, but it is an annoying effect. It also recurs itself pretty easily, so I wouldn't have given it 10. I wouldn't have printed it, frankly, but I don't know.
I guess like maybe
Whatever.
someone
Because when I
figured
was
out
reading
like
through
a
these cards, that was like
stall
the one I
strategy
saw
with
where I
this.
was like, what?
I don't know.
What did you say, Joseph? Sorry.
Maybe someone figured out like a stall strategy with this. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. No, either way, this deck, it's gonna be played. This is one of those decks that's gonna be played. It's a potential
Yeah.
shifter deck.
Mhm.
Oh,
Well, not if you're playing Snarecrow because he has to be in the graveyard.
Thanks, Doug. Thank
Oh,
you.
wait,
for showing
Brian,
up.
can you throw up this No, Brian, can you throw up a Thunder Snarecrow that
Dude,
actually
this
has
shit's
the
got
right text?
1600
What
Kong.
language is
This
this?
shit's got 1600 Kong. We're fucked.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Okay, I just had to ask about that. So the next one, we have a little bit of Medius hits, just a kind of bit. This is a little fucked up, by the
Fuck
way.
that.
Elf
Literally
Note June
during Gay Pride.
Yeah, to
Come on.
25 points during Pride Month. What the fuck? And then also theorize past lull to 5. I couldn't tell you with my life on the line what that card is.
You know.
Look, I'm sorry that it's Pride Month. Good. This motherfucking card needed 25 points.
But
fuck
June
you,
25th
bitch.
is Yuri Day.
You're right.
Oh, that's true.
no,
they
I-
did
Look,
it
I do not wanna play
thematically.
against Elf Note in
Here's
this
the
format,
thing with
okay?
with this past lull card. I know what you're thinking. You're like, what does this do? So that first word, Theo realize, just means under some condition, this summons Medius out of the deck. Like every Theo realize card is like under some fuck ass condition, summon Medius from the deck. There it is. It's a
Yeah,
summon a
summon
Medius
Medius
from the
from
deck.
the
And that's why you have to
Really
play it
what
at 5 points. Yep.
Yeah, I think these hits are pretty straightforward. We have Angeliki Destrayer, which
This
is
infinites
the
with Beals.
horse
Yep.
to 1 point. So what's the loop that they're talking
It's literally just you get Beals on field, and then you have that fucker on field, and then they do the Beals loop.
about here?
It's Red Eyes Flare Metal. It does the thing where it does 5 when they do an effect, and you can
Oh.
just give your opponent Beals and win.
Yeah. The other card they reference is Beals. That's any card with the tax-like effect.
You have to put
they
to at least one.
give a point so that it boxes out with Beals.
By the way,
That's-
they're gonna have to ban Beals in the TCG. Like someday, soon.
I will use this time. We were talking
Just get
about
rid of it.
a little bit before we started recording.
There's no reason to have it in the format. Just get rid of it.
The Angeliki cards. It seems like they are designed to use the EMZ.
Or
Their
stop
most,
printing tax
would
dragons,
say
but I like
their-
a
their
tax
most
dragon. I think they're
powerful card
funny.
uses the EMZ.
It's like tax dragons to me are like ethical floodgates. Like it's not exactly floodgating you, but it has a similar effect without being quite as oppressive.
But all the other cards technically don't. Is this
Oh,
deck real?
I am playing this deck.
I think
I'm
it's
playing
real.
these cards.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because there are a couple different ways to play it. You don't have to.
Yeah,
all
June
in.
Pride's a good card.
The non all in, I
It-
think,
it
is much
deserves
better
its
in
points.
TCG. Regardless,
Well, it's like 6 cards in the main deck, right?
I know.
Without
I
the
am.
trap
I am
card
excited
doing
to see how this
something?
develops. I do think it has
Also, yeah, the Elf Notes are like a little idol group, but they're part of the big lore thing with media.
Genesis
So
playability. Cool cards. Really cool cards.
And we got to see the second wave of the all-important second wave of support.
No, I think you can play them now.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. The all-important.
what are they talking about?
Cool cards. I am
Card
excited
doing
to see how this
something?
develops. Regardless,
Well, it's like 6 cards in the main deck, right?
I know is much better in the TCG. Regardless,
Well,
What the fuck are they
the
talking about?
non-all-in I think is much better in the TCG. Regardless,
Well, it's like 6 cards in the
non-all-in I think kind of hard because
real.
I am-
technically don't. Is this
Oh,
deck real? The other cards most I would say their most powerful card uses the EMZ,
Yeah.
but all the other cards technically don't.
What the fuck are they talking about?
Is this
Oh,
deck real?
Are they talking about
I am
Elf
playing
Note?
this deck.
I think
I'm
it's
playing
real.
these cards.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because there are a couple different ways to play it. You don't have to all in, but the non-all-in I think is hard
Deck, all the other cards, their most cards. Time we were talking about it a little bit before.
because TCG. Like someday, soon.
I will use this time we were talking
Oh,
about
chess.
it a little bit before we
Okay.
started recording. The Angeliki cards. It seems like they are designed to use the EMZ. Their most
The one card is, yes.
I would say their most powerful card uses the EMZ.
Yeah.
But all the other cards technically don't.
And they just summon guys for free without anything going on.
Is this
Oh,
deck real?
There's like a couple of
I'm
locks
playing
in there,
I
but
think
like
it's
playing these
real.
cards.
very
Yeah,
limited locks.
It's kind of hard because there are a couple different ways to play it. You don't have to all in, but the non-all-in I think is much better in the TCG. Regardless,
Yeah.
Well, it's like 6 cards in the main deck, right?
I know.
Without
I
the
am.
trap
I am
card
excited
doing
to see how this
something?
develops. I do think it has.
That's the crazy part too, is that because it's so much in the extra deck, it's not a lot of main deck space required. That does mean also though that the consistency is lowered because you don't have as many cards in the main deck to get consistently to the cards. But like if you have at least 6 cards that can get you there, that's enough for a consistent deck.
Genesis playability. Cool cards. Really cool cards.
And we got to see the second.
Now the one other problem though is that the Angeleki cards do take up a lot of extra deck space. So you do have to worry about that. Official 4-player format, but only for Rush. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, that's crazy. We and Golden Nova have been planning to do a Rush Duel domain format for a while. Wait, that's just chat. God damn it. I hate the way this works. Okay, there we go. What the fuck? It's just... It doesn't have the commander. So it is still relatively normal. What is the... What are 5 and 6? The spell graveyard and the spell deck zone? The spell deck, placed at the center of the deck. All 4 players can use it. Huh? The deck consists solely of spell cards specific to these for these rules, which are all normal spells. Huh? What? How do you play rock, paper, scissors with 4 players? Each player draws 3 cards. Starting with the first player, can rotating clockwise. Each player draws 3 cards from the spell deck and places them on the spell card stand in front of their spell zones. Wait, so you have a second hand of just spells from the spell deck? That's so funny. Okay, I've got to send this to Golden Nova. I've got to send that to Golden Nova after
The
stream.
all-important second wave of support.
No, I think you can play them now.
Okay.
Yeah. Truly, I think I don't know. I don't want to give the game away here and talk exactly what I'm going to be playing, but I think there are things you can do with these cards that make them playable. The only thing you can't do because of the lack of the EMZ is opening to E4, the ultra rare trap card. That's the only card you can't play. And okay, like that's totally fine. You can still
It is the strongest card in the deck, to be clear.
Play an
but
engine that gets to Witness of the Ancient, and if you get to Witness of the Ancient,
Witness of the Ancient is such a fucking strong card. It's crazy that it's not actually in archetype.
have a way to summon it, you trigger its effect, and then that's
This is
all
the
three of the
world
spin-
premiere thing, right?
Yep,
Okay.
that's all 3 of them in the back row with the field
Yep.
spell, with the trap card that's the
Yeah, it just gets all 3 of them. It just gets all 3 of them.
Omni Negate that gives them the pawn and then promotes
Like, technically it gets 2 of them, but the one gets the other one. Like, so it just gets all
to a
3 of them.
different guy. Like, yeah, it's the engine is super playable, and I don't know.
We'll have
I'm
to wait to
playing
see
the
what
shit.
you're cooking.
I don't know. They're so good as like breakers too. Like the pawn has the effect where you just like give it to the opponent too, and it outs a
Mhm.
guy. Like
Okay,
cool card.
Mr. Mimighoul, we get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You like giving your opponents cards.
That's true.
Okay, so the last
Gotta
section is
kick you
just kind
off.
of generic cards. We we have Farah, the Primordial Goddess. Shout out to me for pulling a full art. We have Glitch Clutch Null Gainer to 10.
It's a good
which
card.
I'm a little bit scared about, but maybe you guys have different thoughts. Pot of Sloth to 10. Ragged
sense.
Records of Rights to 10. Superconductive Plasma Blast
Ragged Record of Rights, I think, at 10 points might actually be playable.
to
I don't know.
5. That's the little Thunder Rock support card.
Yeah.
Witness of the Ancient, which is the big card that's like clearly designed for the. I can't find it on here. Brian, if you
This
want to
card
throw
is
it up
crazy.
there, it's the card that's like clearly designed for the Angelic keys, but also technically has other uses. Thunder Crash Snarecrow, as we talked about, very good card, worth over 3 Gamma Seals, so we know it's powerful.
I love how obsessed with that he is.
Mortalux Herver to 20, a card that I will have to ask you guys about because I don't
Yep.
really know what it fits into.
It's a good card.
And finally, the 3 Champions of the Sword Soul to 10.
Finally
Let's
here.
just do the easy ones first. Farah the Primordial Goddess is called by the grave. Good that it's at 20.
Mhm.
They even shouted out. Pot of Sloth to 10 puts it at risk of being played with the other pots. So
yeah,
not
it's
gonna
it's the same points as Extrav, right?
get played. I don't think.
The pots are tough. The pots are like very like I think they're not really seeing play right now because they're like pointed a little bit too high for a
Yeah.
lot of decks. But if you lower the points too much,
It'd be
everyone's gonna
crazy.
play 'em.
Yeah, no, you
Exactly.
don't want that.
3 Champs is a cool card that I think changes the math on the branded deck. In a
I
really
think the pots are
interesting, fun
basically
way.
where you want them to be right now.
I like that card a lot.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Thunder Crash Snarecrow. We just talked about it. Who fucking
Yeah.
knows? Let's talk about the
We're
ones that
gonna
are
look
interesting.
in a month when Thunder Crash Snarecrow has won the event. We're gonna seem pretty silly.
I'm going to the WCQ with a Thunder Crash Snarecrow to get Jerome to sign it. I know it's him.
Truly baffled. Anyway, keep going, Joseph. Sorry.
That's it. That's I think all the easy ones. Do we want to start with a glitch
I just think it's an annoying card you could play in Blitzclick, so they pointed it.
Culch Null Gainer?
Yeah, sure. Glitch Clutch Null Gainer is a level 8 synchro that searches Witness. That's
This
it.
card is
That's
fucking
what it-
crazy.
It just searches Witness of the Ancients. That's if you are trying to play the chess cards, you are playing. One way you can play the chess cards is a deck that makes Witness of the Ancients, so you can search Thunder Crash Snarecrow. That's
I don't
super
think-
simple.
I
Or
think
not
you mi-
not
I
Thunder.
think you
Not,
mis-
I meant,
Wait, he figured it
Yeah.
out.
Wait,
that's true.
you gave it away.
Sorry. You make Glitch Clutch to search Witness.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
And
gets
then
you
the
your
Thunder Crash Snarecrow comes up later.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I think that you're going to see a lot of day one builds doing exactly that, and I think that's going to be pretty successful. Like I think that is a really good play. There's some other stuff that Clutch Null Gainer gets too that I think is interesting.
What is I forget the exact details on Null Gainer. There it is. Synchro 8, really easy to make. Yeah. Just a Synchro 8. I was wondering what exactly its level was. I remember it being a Synchro 8, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, you could use the fucking... Is Walbaz pointed? Surely Walbaz is pointed. Yeah, 30 points. Okay, yeah. Damn, I like this card though. But there's like Synchro 8 aplenty. Literally just any Synchro 8.
But it's kind of weird that
Engine
we already have synchros that just play
at
the
all.
game for you. Like, what comes to mind is the Assault Mode one. This is called like
Yeah.
Nightwing, Darkwing, that just like gets you your whole line. So I'm not more concerned than I would be for that, but
Yeah, that's true.
I guess we'll do Witness of the Ancient now. This card's fucking crazy, but 33 points is a lot.
33 points is a lot.
I don't know if it needed 33. I'll.
Yeah, it should have been 90.
This is one of those hits where it's like, this card reads like a card that some stupid bullshit could happen.
Because this is the most points on any card on this list. Like,
Mind Shuffle.
oh no, Mind Shuffle's 40.
Mind
Mind
Shuffle,
Shuffle's 40.
yeah.
But that's 33 is a big stat. So
big.
they're saying if you want to play this shit, you're gonna have to spend 43 points on the Null Gainer and the Witness.
Well,
Yeah.
there's another way to play this card, but whatever. I think it's warranted. The card's very, very good. The card is really good.
Yeah, I wonder if
and-
like, maybe finding a like I'm sure obviously Peeps has found a way, but I think maybe avoiding the Null Gainer and just having some other way to do it might be the way to go.
And the chess cards are a pain in the dick if they get set up. Like
Yeah.
for the uninitiated, the chess back row pieces that you set up, the knight, the rook, and the king. The rook makes it so your angelic keys can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
Which makes it really hard to out them.
The knight taxes for 500 every effect that they do.
Mhm.
And the king makes it so they can only attempt to activate 5 monster effects.
That's the craziest part is it says attempt instead of do. So every time you negate them, that's one of their effects gone.
The crazy thing is that there are combos you can do where you just set up multiple knights. So you can just set up 3 knight and burn for 15 with everything that they do.
Shout out
So-
Skull Invitation in Master Duel right now.
Yeah, it's super consistent to get 2 knights on board and just lock them into say yugioh can only do 8 things. Can you out these in 8 things? If you can't, it's over. So the cards are very annoying, so it makes sense that Witness is pointed this high. Mortalux
do.
is the
Yeah.
rank 8.
Honestly, they probably should have just pointed the cards that actually do the floodgates instead of the card that gets them on the field. But I don't need to say anything about that. You already know. Because you're a consistent watcher of the Vampirian YouTube and Twitch experience. So you already know my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
This card's really good.
It's
It's
scary
quite
strong.
It's
But also putting Witness to 33 makes it very unlikely you'll be running 3 copies of it, which makes it a lot less consistent that you'll get to those things. Although, again, you can just search it.
got like a towers-ish effect. But it's a good
Whereas, like, you're likely only playing, you're not playing max copies of the chess pieces, right? So putting them at higher points, you'd have to put them at much higher points to get people to not play them than you would be otherwise.
it's a quality rank 8. This is a strong card.
I mean, and to be clear, we are kind of hurting for a good rank 8 in Genesis. Like,
Yeah.
they
Not to
keep
say, a
banning
lot of
all.
them are pointed.
Yeah, they keep banning all the good ones, or pointing all the good ones rather. They pointed this one as well though.
That is true. The knight only burns when they resolve, but like if they get to the point where they let me just Angelecki. If they get to the point where if you're negating something so it doesn't resolve for the knight to do the burn, that's one more monster effect they don't have, right? So they only get to have the 5 effects per turn with the Chaturanga on the field. So you don't really care if it resolves or not. Like, sure, you're missing out on the burn, but they're missing out on an effect. One of their 5 effects they get that turn. Monster effects. Unless if it spells, it's still a little bit different. If it spells, it's different.
I think the part of this card that people aren't giving enough credit is this 3-mat, which is always going to be online.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the thing about this
Because-
card. What the fuck is its name? God, I don't remember the name of this card at all. But
Either you
the
make it
3-mat
with three,
effect is just
or you just take it
automatically
on the
online
phone.
because you add a card to its materials.
And like try and do your combo without touching something in the graveyard. It's a little difficult. It is.
It can be.
actually
It can be
quite
tricky for
As
some
an
decks.
Exo Sister player, I can tell you, most decks need their hand has to touch the graveyard at some point. So,
And if you've ever played against an Enneacraft Pixia,
Shut up.
there's a lot of cards that you have to do. Like targeting your own graveyard comes up a lot. You know, like that's
for all
it's a
those
big
Genesis
deal.
Enneacraft players, it's going to be
Yeah,
tough.
true. Kind of going outside the target audience here for sure, but
Yeah.
yeah, the card's good. A lot of people were
It's a good
kinda
card.
raising their eyebrows at the 20 points on this guy, and trust
No, it's deserved.
me, it's I'm glad that they pointed at what they did. Yeah.
Okay, to round things out, it seems like we've talked about most of the points. Let's just briefly mention here what cards we think maybe could have been on, and the one that everyone, and I do mean everyone, is talking about, and I think, you know, it might be overhyped just because of how many people are talking about it. No Melfi hits. Is that actually a problem, or are people coping?
I think it is a problem.
It could
is a
be.
deck
They lowered
that is-
Gigantic Sprite. Don't forget they lowered Gigantic Sprite too.
Yeah, Melfi's a deck that
Melfi's a good
benefits
deck.
from you not reading the cards on the field. So
Yeah.
if you play against it, please read the cards on the field.
Just read the
But
cards.
it
Just
is
read the
strange.
cards. You should be reading your
The new
opponent's cards.
are fucking crazy. The like TCG free agent is fucking crazy. Like I am a little concerned, I will say.
I think the deck will be played. I
Yes,
think the deck
absolutely will
will
be.
see some amount of success.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think,
think so.
it warrants any amount of points. Having Melfi be the deck that gets to play a full swath of 100-point budget non-engine, that's fine.
And they're
it's
very cute, so they should get away with war.
True.
I agree. But that's the thing, is that the deck isn't war criming you, right? Like there's
No, it just does some bounces. It just does some bounces.
The problem with Melfi is that Melfi just takes forever. If you are up against a Melfi player, you're going to go to time. Just prepare yourself, because you're going to go to time. So be ready to accept that double loss.
Yeah, it's just an interactive hand trappy deck, and it has very clear weaknesses. Like board wipes, it really struggles against, like very badly.
Which are very common in
some
Genesis
hand
format
trappable points in the
currently.
deck. People have
We'll see
figured
how
out
that
that you can
changes.
play Cattle Call as a way to make your normal summon effects go through, which I think is a really cool tech. Like you Cattle Call, like you normal, like the new Mythical Beasts of the Forest.
What the fuck is Cattle Call? I've never heard of this card in my life. Cattle Call. Send a face a monster you control to the graveyard. Its original type is beast before your winged beast. Switch them a monster from your extra deck with the same original type, but it cannot attack. Effects are negated to get destroyed during the end phase. Wow. That's really funny. That's crazy for this deck. Whoa. That's
or
crazy for
whatever the guy is, I
Melfi's.
can't remember its name, but you use that effect to
It's like a bad swallow's nest for
summon
Melfi's.
from deck. They like Baylor it or something. You chain Cattle Call to send it, and then you summon Melfi Mommy from your extra deck, and then you stack the new God Mommy on top of it as a way to like dodge interaction. That's
pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's like a neat little
Pretty
tech
cool.
that the deck is doing.
You could also go into the fusion if you wanted to,
But it's a really
because it's just a
slow
2 you could
control
use
deck.
as
Like,
material.
When they activate Statues game, their turn ends. Yeah, they add 4, but their turn ends. You know. So I don't know. I'm not worried about this deck.
Okay, but the Melfi turn ends and then it
in
begins,
terms of,
right?
like,
In the end
it's gonna-
phase, it begins.
I can't believe they didn't point it. It's fine. If people are gonna play it, I'm happy that they're gonna play it. I think it deserves to have some time as a 0-point deck.
And the thing is too about Genesis.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Even if it is strong, even if it ends up being too strong and we need to point it later, that's fine. That's fine if we have to point it later. We can let it be strong now and then point it later. I think that's fine for
events,
Melfi.
You know, if you haven't been to one, and you should go to them because they are fun. The one thing that I've noticed that everyone sort of talks up is that there are a million decks being played, like every table. There's going to be strong decks. There's going to be popular decks, of course, but it's been a long time since I've seen that many different decks in the TCG, like at an event. I know sometimes it is, you know, a wide open format, but I know it can be more difficult to like prepare for from a competitive standpoint, but this is exactly the type of Yu-Gi-Oh that I like. And, you know, if something like Melfi has the chance of seeing play in Genesis as like a rogue deck or even a tier 2 deck, that's perfectly fine in my mind.
Yeah, that's
Do
fine.
we want to talk about like what we expect?
As long as it's
Nats
not
to
tier
look
0,
like?
which I don't think it
Anything
will
else
be.
anyone wants to say before we end?
No.
Yeah, I mean, just if you are going to the WCQ to play this event, I think if I'm shot calling what the format is going to look like following Chaos Origin and following this points list, I think best deck in the room is slotted at like, I don't know if it's a tie between, but it's Constellar definitely, I think, is the best deck in the room.
Yeah.
Some variant of it, whether it's Mjolnir, whether it's Rongo. Oh, we didn't talk about Rongo. That's something that
Rongo
you can also do.
Still legal.
Amazing.
Yep.
But yes, like whether it's
Awful.
Rongo
I hate
combo, whether
that.
it's Mjolnir, or whether it's just like normal ass good combo deck Constellar, I think that
They're gonna have
is-
to point Rongo to 100. They don't want to. They're going to have to point it to 100.
Going to be the best deck. Also, it's fighting for best deck slot with Fairy Tail. I think Fairy Tail is what people
Really
are
good deck.
going to choose if they just don't want to play Constellar. I think Fairy Tail. I think
And the new Alistair stuff
besides
is good with it,
Snow,
too.
Fairy Tail doesn't have
Like
any
we said
points on
earlier.
its engine, right, Joseph?
Not on the engine, no.
Yeah, no. So it's low pointed engine deck.
Yeah, I was surprised to not see any hits to the Fairy Tail engine at all.
Really strong. Gets to play a lot of really cool non-engine like Super Poly.
There's a ton of
and
different brews too.
Yeah, there's
they
that
also
new...
we didn't talk about this because it didn't get points, but they just got the greatest fusion card of all time.
Yeah,
Yes,
that new
spellcaster plus non-spellcaster, baby.
Yeah.
Even
Very,
if
very
it's
cool
not a
card.
super poly target, like just making it with like
It's
a
also
random
just a good card
4,
to
like,
make.
puts you in a crazy, or like a Fuelos puts you in like a crazy position. Like it's a really
Yep.
good card.
So those I think are fighting
Like it's fucked up, right? Super Poly targets shouldn't be good cards to just make, and yet here we are.
for best deck spots.
wanna-
Then go ahead.
Yeah, I think people are going to be on a lot of decks that like didn't receive as much points as you would expect. I think Mimigul is going to be really popular. I think that
Yeah, I can see
a
that.
lot of people are going to, I guess I would say, default to the deck they were already playing.
Wait a sec. Hold on. I thought when there was a points update, everyone is required to throw their deck in the trash.
And then the
That is
trash. Yep,
true, actually.
If I can be a little concerned,
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the Mjolnir deck, obviously, and
Yep.
concerned about Cosmo Neo's Hero.
I
think
am not very concerned about Hero. I think there's
Eh.
so many ways to interact with Hero that I am not super concerned about it. But I think it does necessitate like you playing.
you have to play Narc for it.
not like hand trap non-engine.
Yeah.
Some kind of new shout outs. I think that RDA obviously is going to be quite powerful. It didn't get hit nearly enough to take it out of contention. But I think Labyrinth is a deck that I find really exciting.
Oh, yes.
It got some decreases. I don't think they're going to like go up on Welcome and Big Welcome, which are the cards that went down. I think they just now get to play really, really good non-engine. And I mean, that's crazy for that deck. That deck is already pretty close. It's already doing well in the, I think the Central American WCQ, it did okay.
Yep. And that was pre-points update where the welcomes went lower.
Yeah.
So now
we
they
saw
get
a
to do
couple
like
around.
they get to do like 3 big welcome, 2 welcome, and they get to lean on stuff like simultaneous equation cannon, which
So
is
if I
like
was-
the best card in the format. Like
If I
that.
was,
That's,
if
that
I was
card's nuts.
trying to prep you for Nats, I would say you need to be playing cards that prevent your Constellar Tellarknight player from making a board that automatically wins the game. You need to be packing back row removal, and
Yeah, like that. What was the fucking card? The Simward card we were running in the Lyralisk deck. What the fuck is that card? God damn it, Dueling Nexus. Why do you log me out so much? Fucking Simorg Repulsion. Yeah. What a fucking stupid card.
I guess that's it.
Also, read the cards in this new set because
my God,
there is stuff
yes.
under the radar. Like you
It's
have
a-
to know what these new Malfi cards do.
Korai is one of the best sets that have been released in a long time. It's packed full of good cards. It's crazy.
You have to know what the
And
Sacred
there's
Beast
time.
stuff does.
We don't know when someone's watching this video, but like as we're recording, like there's still a couple weeks. You have 2 weeks to
There's
learn
still time.
about these cards. And
Even as
play
we're
test against
watching
them,
this
or at the very
recording,
least,
There's still time.
look at how people are playing them online. There's a very, I know there's discords and such as well, but there's an active, a small but active Genesis community on Twitter that, people are posting their lists.
What
They're
about
using
Blue Sky,
that
Doug?
Hashtag yugioh Genesis. This is not sponsored. It's just an easy, Joseph uses it all the time. It's just an easy way to find Genesis posts. It's a hashtag being used in the way that hashtags were conceptualized way back in the day. So
Yep.
even if you can't play Genesis,
Wait, it cut to Joseph and he said, "Yep," and then he wasn't, but his lips didn't move. Is he a ventriloquist?
Just remember that. Sorry, this is not an ad read or anything, but remember that to play in the Genesis thing on Friday, you don't have to have an invite or anything. So you might as well just.
He doesn't know Blue
it,
Sky's
right?
full of
Like,
lesbians playing
We're gonna
Genesis.
be there.
I don't know that. Where are
We're gonna
they?
play, you know. Also, last card I will shout out is the card I'm most excited about, Gray Layer. I think Gray
Yeah, of course.
Layer, incredible card. Not saying that BES is a good deck by any means, but
It's a fun
Gray
deck.
Layer opens up the possibility for super cool machine.
Oh, fuck. Is this what he's using to get to Witness of the Ancients? Is he going Gray Layer, like, put away a BES card, get fucking Witness of the Ancients, set up the fucking bullshit chess deck? Dude. Sadly, never played against anyone using BES. Dude, the new BES cards are so fucking cool. Oh, that's not the right one. God, these cards are so fucking cool. Oh, I do know about that one, obviously, but hold up, I'll allow that, Zuchi. I gotta turn that shit off. It's only it only serves to hinder my friends. Oh, you're in the final this time? Hell yeah, that's cool. But I want more interaction with people who are just talking about Genesis. I want to talk Genesis theory with people more. Yeah, these cards are so fucking cool. I would be interested in making like a BES chess deck, actually. That would be really fucking cool. With Gray
deck
Layer
engines now. And I've been messing around
It's a
with that
strong
card.
searcher. It's a strong searcher.
Oh man, I'm so pumped. I think the card's awesome. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right.
Big Core,
well,
one of the
with
first
that,
S-Stars
that
I ever
ends
opened.
Another episode of
Yeah.
the Genesis Boys talking about Genesis. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
I
Let us
really
know in the
like
comment
they keep
section what
doing
you
this.
think
I hope they
about
keep doing
these
this more.
point adjustments. And as
I'll
always,
keep reacting
these
to
two
them
bozos
because
will be
I
linked in
fucking
the
love this shit.
description as well.
Because like, sure, it's fun to watch them talk about it, but them talking about shit gets me talking about shit. I like that a
If
lot.
you want to go check them out, they do post some Genesis content actually. So make sure to check them out.
All right. This sounds like Blue Archive music. I swear to God. I don't know what it's from, but it sounds like Blue Archive. It's probably just YouTube safe music designed for YouTube by YouTube. So yeah, I guess we're done here. I gotta go because I gotta get ready for going to the beach. But here's that Lyralist deck again. It's not very good. Don't play it. But it is legal in Genesis, and you can play it. It's a bad OTK deck. Just play Blitzclick instead when that becomes legal in a little while here. But it is funny. You can't deny that. It is fucking funny. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Exclamation point socials in chat. Get you my website. Simple as that. Get you to all the places where I do my stuff. Make sure you're subscribed to the Batches Library for clips. And tomorrow, the next episode of Rivalry Format comes out. It's currently available on the main channel for members or on Patreon for patron subscribers. It's got Ada and Ali. We played fucking Revolution Booster themed decks. We've got Toon, Witchcrafter, and Unchained. It's a great time. The edited version is going to be a lot more watchable because there was a lot of dead air in the live version. So make sure to check that out tomorrow, or you can pay $1 and get it right now. Still traumatized by Toon? Just wait till it comes in the TCG, because I fucking made Toon significantly less strong. I'm terrified what it's going to do in the TCG. It's completely taken over the OCG. Holy shit! Like, where's like Road to the King? Can we get like what was the like most recent like what was a TCG WCQ maybe? No. Where's the fucking metagame report? Here we go. Look at this shit. Toon's 25%. It's creeping out Cool Toon. The Toons have beaten the Toons. What the fuck? So fucked up. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe everywhere and all that stuff and all the good stuff. Well, watch the fan-made Yu-Gi-Oh cards video. It's a good video. We're almost getting to the point where we'll have more views than I have subscribers, which is exciting. All right, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to send you over to someone else now. Who am I sending you to? Let's find out. Who's online? A lot of people online today. Spoiled for choice. We haven't rated Minra in a hot second. Let's raid Minra, playing Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. It's a lot of subtitles. All right, thanks so much for watching. When you get over there, be kind and courteous. That's all I ask of you. With that said, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everyone. I won't be here Sunday, and but I will be here Tuesday. So I'll see you on Yu-Gi-Oh! Tuesday. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.